What's up you guys, it's Andrew again, and I have had a grueling past 24 hours trying to figure out how to get this penguin and bring it to you guys on Team Fortress 2. So as you can see, I have prevailed, and I am going to share with you guys the method I have developed that was most successful. It seemed like a lot of you guys had a lot of confusion about Linux and just how to install it, how to play Steam on it, and everyone was having problems, and I had a lot of problems as well. But I found workarounds, so I'm going to share those. I'm going to say right now, I'm not on a Mac, I'm not a Mac user, so you might run into some different problems that I had not run into, and I might not know the answer for you, but this video very well may help you guys solve some problems you run into. So I'm just going to show you guys the penguin on the characters and go through its styles and stuff, and while I do that, I'm going to explain to you guys the steps. So basically, there isn't a lot that we have to do, really. In short, all you have to do is install Linux, install Steam, install Team Fortress 2, and run it. I wish it was really that simple, but I ran into so many problems with each of those steps. It took me multiple tries to finally get this right. If you think you can just jump into it and do it, you can try, but I don't think you'll be successful. I would suggest sticking around and watching the rest of this video. If anything, you can start installing Linux right now, and by the time I'm done describing everything, you will know the method. So I'm going to take you guys through it now, step by step, and I'm apologizing right now for not having any screen capture. I was already having so many problems with Linux, I cannot deal with also getting a screen capture, but I have put together some text and pictures for you guys to make this more clear. So first things first, we have to install Linux. Steam has made it pretty clear that they like Ubuntu, so we're going to use that, and they have provided us some links that make it easy to install this. The best way I would suggest is to install it on your computer and dual boot with it. So basically, you're not going to get rid of your operating system. You can still have Windows, but we are going to get an easy installer that will install this onto one of your hard drives, and then we can choose to boot with Ubuntu. I suggest that you have at least 40 gigs free on one of your hard drives, and it would be great if you had multiple hard drives, but if you have one, that's fine. So I'm going to paste a link in the description for you guys that will link you directly to the install for Ubuntu. Ubuntu is just a form of Linux, so there are multiple different ones. Today we're working with Ubuntu. I have tried both the Ubuntu 10.10 version and the 12.04 version. I could not successfully do this on the 10.10 version, so we're going to be doing this on the 12.04 version. They were both really buggy, really slow, so there's a lot of patience involved with this, guys, but we will get through it. Once you download that linked file, start the install, and you will get a couple options. One of them will be to choose which hard drive you want to install it on. So choose your hard drive that has the most free space and install it there. Also, it will ask how much space you want to allocate to the Ubuntu operating system, and pick the largest number that you have an option for, which should be 30 gigs. Then just go ahead and make a password and start the install. While that's installing, we are going to take another step that will help us in the future here. So what we have to do is make a new folder. You can just make it on your desktop right now and title it something in large text, all capitals. Just call it something like Steam Transfer, and then find your way to your program files, then the Steam folder, then the Steam Apps folder, and copy these files that I have written on the screen right here. I also have them in the description if you need to see that list. So move those into that folder we created, and also rename each of those files. All you have to do is change the beginning letter of each word to a capital. That's just the way Linux does it, and we are going to be putting these onto Linux later, so take that step now. Once you finish renaming all those files, move that folder into the top layer of one of your free hard drives. If you only have one, just put it in the top layer of that hard drive, and we will get to this later, but we need to take this step before we go into Ubuntu. Once Ubuntu has finished installing, go ahead and reboot your computer. I need to tell you now, I was never able to boot into Ubuntu twice. So you have to do this in one sitting if you are having the same issue as I am. So it will only reboot into Ubuntu the first time after install. You will restart your computer, it will go straight to Ubuntu. If you have any problems, it freezes or anything after that, I couldn't get back into Ubuntu. If you guys can't, what you have to do is go back into Windows. It will give you the option, and once you get there, you have to uninstall Ubuntu and you have to start again from step 1. So hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does, you have to do that. Once you get to the Ubuntu desktop, go ahead and log in with your password, and it will be set up a bit differently than you're used to. On the left-hand side, there will be a bar that has programs in it, and on the top, you will have kind of your taskbar. At the top right, you can find the internet connection, and make sure you're connected to the internet. If you have Wi-Fi, you're going to have to put in your password. So that is our first step here. Connect to the internet. Once you have connected to the internet, go to the left and find the dash home button. It is the top left button on those program bars over there. So click on that, and in the search bar, type in update and find the program called Update Manager. Go ahead and run that program, and it will load up and it will say that there is nothing to install, but then hit the check button, and after it loads again, it will come up with a list of files that you need to install. To save you some time, uncheck all of those files, scroll about halfway down the list until you find the one titled Office Production Suite Shared Library, something like that. Just check that box and install that really quick. Now that Ubuntu has updated, go onto the internet. It has Firefox already installed, so click on Firefox, go to steampowered.com, and go to the About page and start downloading the Steam install file. It will give you the option to save the file or to open it with a program. Either one is fine. It will pull up a separate box that has the file in it, and you can just double click on it once it's done. Once it downloads, it'll take you to the page on the Ubuntu Software Manager program. If you didn't do the update, it won't have an install button, so if you still don't see the install button for Steam, just install all of those updates. Go back to the Update Manager, install everything. You should see it though if you just installed that shared library file. So go ahead and install Steam. This will take a little bit, so just let it load. Ubuntu is really slow, I have no idea why, but let that download, and once that's done, we will move on to the next step. Once Steam finishes installing, it will say that you need to run the program before it actually finishes, or something along those lines. So go ahead and run the program. For me, a couple times it would have some errors, but after 1 or 2 minutes, it would actually pop up and load. So keep trying. If it's not loading right away, you'll get it eventually. Once it pops up, go ahead and put in your Steam username and your password and hit connect. It will tell you most likely that you need to get a key from your email, so find the email that is linked to that account and get that password and put it in. Once you do that, just hit authenticate and it will take you to your Steam profile. Once you're at your Steam profile, now go onto your library, find Team Fortress 2 and hit the install button. Once it starts loading up the libraries, hit finish and it will start downloading the entire game. This is where I ran into my next problem. The download would take multiple hours and it would always freeze at 9 gigs and it needs to download 12.2 gigs, I think it was. And so this is where that step we took earlier is going to come into play. After the libraries have installed, you can let the download run for maybe just a couple seconds and then pause the download. Now we're going to have to find where these Team Fortress 2 files are loading onto Linux and replace it with the ones from Windows. To find these files, go to the bar with all the programs on the left again, and underneath that dash home button there is a button that is just called home. Click on that and you will need to find the .local file. You probably won't see it, so that is because it is hidden. Press Ctrl and H and it will show hidden files. Once you find the .local file, navigate to that, then navigate to the share folder, then to the Steam folder, and then to the Steam apps folder. And now we have to transfer our old files into this file. To get to the old files, open up a new home window. If you can't figure it out right away, you can just right click on any folder and press open a new window and then navigate to those old files. if you have them on a separate drive, if you have multiple drives, you'll probably be able to find them on the left-hand side of that new window and find the folder that has those files in it. If you have only one drive, I think that you have to click on a option on the left called File System or something like that, and that is your actual drive that Linux has been installed onto, which is also where you have placed your folder with those files we need to transfer. So go ahead and get to that folder and transfer those files into the home.local share Steam apps file. This will take quite a while, so just sit back and let this go. It'll probably take over an hour. There's nothing really we can do yet, so just let this run, and when it's done, we'll move on to the next step. Once all those files have installed, nothing will change on the download page of Steam. It will still say you have to download 12.2 gigs, and we can't do that. It won't let us. It wasn't letting me, at least. It would always freeze at 9. So what we do here is just exit Steam and relaunch Steam. Then on the TF2 tab in your libraries, hit the play button, and it will start to update, but now it will only need to download a couple megabytes that is just Linux appropriate files. Once that finishes downloading, you can hit the launch TF2 button, but for me it froze at that point, so just wait a bit and let it do its thing. I had to restart Steam again, so don't be afraid to close out Steam and restart it. Once I restarted it, I was able to click the play button on TF2, and it would come up with the launching Team Fortress 2 window, and it hung there for about 5 minutes, but I wasn't going to touch anything, so I let it sit, and eventually it went away, and my avatar on Steam had turned green saying that I am in Team Fortress 2, but I got an error, and the error was something like a OpenGL extension texture install file. So I just hit OK, and I had noticed that my avatar went green and it said I was in Team Fortress 2. So on a separate computer, I checked my backpack on tf2outpost.com, and I had got the Linux Penguin. So all you have to do now is restart your computer, boot up at Windows. You can find that file again that I linked you to earlier, and you can uninstall Ubuntu, and that's it. So that's it, guys. I really hope this helped. If you're still having problems, post in the comments, and hopefully some of the YouTube users can help you guys out if I can't. Also, I hope I didn't waste your time. I'm trying to do what I can to help, but this was a really complicated process. If you were successful, let me know too. That would be great. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys liking. I really appreciate you guys subscribing. I will try and bring out more content like this and fill you guys in on TF2 updates, so definitely stick around if you'd like.